Okay, so how about some speculative math today? Reggie and Deathwire are coming eventually, but the biggest question I have is how much are the DLCs going to be? I'm sure you have the same question, so let's get to it. This won't be a long one, so just watch it to the end, will ya?
Space Coconut.
If you're wondering, I'm a little sick, that's why we're just getting through this one. So, let's assume that each of the DLCs will be somewhere between $5 and $25 each. We're using this big range for a few reasons. At $5, we're assuming that Hellbent wants the DLCs to be accessible to everyone, so a low price barrier would help enable the majority of the player base to willingly drop that money on a new character. At $25, we're assuming that with such a low dedicated player base, they want to help the company earn some revenue to continue development on the game. At this point in time, they've spent 6 years working on Video Horror Society, and the dev team certainly hasn't been paying their bills and sustaining themselves off of their hopes and dreams for the game. Every price point in between is a compromise between those two extremes. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 are the most likely price targets, and in that range, $15 is the most likely price point we'll be seeing for DLCs. $15 psychologically is more daunting than $10, but with around 2,000 people playing right now, if every dedicated player bought the characters, that would be about $60,000 of income. I have no idea what the devs are paid, but that much money would certainly keep the lights on. If it's pushed to 20 and above, complaints about pay to win would start cropping up because of the perks that will come with the characters. There's also a psychological barrier because 20 is more difficult to drop on a game for some people and would lead to fewer sales as a result. If it's dropped to 10, more people would buy the DLC, but the most they'd get from both DLC characters would be $40,000. And while that's still respectable, I think the company would risk the extra $5 price bump to see a more solid return on their work. So, the $15 price point makes more sense, but when we talk about how much it'll cost in fan bucks and flux, I think you'll see why 15 is the best prediction. You can buy 1,200 fan bucks for $10 or 3,300 fan bucks for $25. If you math this thing out, it comes to about 1.3 fan buck per 1 cent. So at $15, a DLC would cost you 1,950 fan bucks. Now we see the free-to-play store in action, because you either have to buy two $10 packs of fan bucks or the one $25 pack in order to afford $15 worth of fan bucks. Odds are high that players will buy the $25 pack, getting 3,300 fan bucks to get the DLC, leaving 1,350 fan bucks to buy more cosmetics. Oh, but there are two DLCs, aren't there? To get both at this theoretical price, you will need 3,900 fan bucks, which means you'll have to buy the $25 pack and a $10 pack for a grand total of 4,500 fan bucks to buy both the monster and the team characters, leaving you with 600 fan bucks left over. That's a mandatory price of $35 for both DLCs and a revenue of about $70,000 for the company if every current player buys it. Now that seems really unreasonable when I lay it out like that, but the price for a DLC will not equal the price of a fan buck pack, so the $10 and $25 price points are out. So let's assume that they're cheaper at $7 instead. We'll end up with the same amounts we found with a single DLC at $15. Two $10 packs of fan bucks or the $25 pack to buy two characters for 1,820 fan bucks. Now, if you're a cheapskate like me, you might want to buy the characters for flux. So how much would that be? Well, every item in the store has the same conversion rate for flux to fan bucks. It's 20 flux for every 1 fan buck. So a single DLC at 910 fan bucks will be 18,200 flux. If that's at the $15 price point, a single DLC at 1,950 fan bucks would cost 39,000 flux. How much Flux have you saved up until this point? It's either going to be $7 or $15 for each DLC, but either way, the free-to-play store does what a free-to-play store does best, and will get a few extra dollars out of the players who choose to buy the characters. Whether that's worth it to you, or pay to win, or otherwise less than ideal, is up to one's own opinion, and considering the work they're putting in to make the game the best it can be, I do think I'll be picking them up when they're available. I'm definitely curious how all of this will pan out when we find out how strong the DLC perks are going to be. How strong or how weak they are is going to be heavily scrutinized, with their price point as one of the considerations. Either way, I guess we'll see when they drop. I'm tired. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, I'm Space Coconut, and you're welcome.